Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie, Violet Vixen Commissaro. Tonight, we are stoked to have Sid Stratton in the studio with us. This rising rock metal band is killing it with their powerful stage presence, insane riffs, and intense lyrics. Join us as we discuss what's brought them together, their journey as a band, and what's next for them. Please put your horns in the air for Sid Stratton. Hey, guys.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for coming on. How you guys doing tonight?
Feeling good. Feeling good. We just had a show this past weekend, so still coming down from those. You know, like you have a show and you get those like high vibes, and you're like, hell yeah, and like can't wait for the next one. So now it's like coming down from that, and like, oh, I miss my buddies. Can't wait to go on stage and do it again.
You guys had a crazy couple weeks with Brewstock, and I just have to say, I heard I got to cover with American Mosh Pits, so I actually got a chance to at least check out the scene, and we got to go through the merch and everything like that. I overheard that you guys actually ended up playing again on Saturday. So not only the sold out show on Friday, but again on Saturday. How did that happen?
So while we were loading out after the first show, everyone was saying how much they loved us, and they're like, yo, that's awesome. And like it was got an encore, and we're just like, whoa. So we were, riding that, and then we're like, man, wish we could do this again tomorrow, because the next day our best friends Nailbite and Traverse the Abyss, they were both playing, and so we were already staying because not only that they are friends, but we're big fans, so we're like, we're going to be there to watch them, and we're like, man, we wish we could play. And then one of our crew just told the promoter, like, hey, Sid and them want to play again tomorrow if you have anybody, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll keep that in mind, we'll keep them in mind. And so we ended up staying up till I don't know, pretty late. I think the drummer Aaron and I were up for like 23 hours with the other bands hanging out, and woke up the next. And then woke up the next day and got a phone call right away saying, "Hey, can you come play again today?" And we're like, "Sure. What time?" And this is at noon. And they're like, "In 4 hours." And I was like, "Okie dokie." So we went and got like tea and breakfast. They're like, all right, guys, let's get ready. Let's do it again. And then got to do it all over again, and it was a blast.
That's so awesome. So can we talk about some of the bands that impressed you that were there? Because there was like a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Where to start? Cultus Black, love them. Love Nailbite. We've been the week prior, we were in Pennsylvania doing two shows, one at Love Drafts and another one at the Power Plant with Nailbite. And I mentioned them, I was like, hey, what if we played a game of Magic in the mosh pit with Traverse? Because Traverse the Abyss, they're also big Magic the Gathering players. And they're like, that would be hilarious. Go for it. So we were excited to go play Magic in the mosh pit while Nailbite was playing.
It's so funny because Lenny, after you doing the Magic thing and playing it there, he's like, I have to brush up because I can't be at one of their shows and not be able to contribute to the Magic.
We started bringing a card table for Magic games. So because I don't drink or smoke or anything, and so we're just big nerds that love rock and roll, and playing metal. So literally, it's like our merch booth, and then in the middle is a card table. And so while we're doing sales and talking with guests in between, we're playing Magic, and we'll tell other people like, hey, if you want to play Jumpstart, we'll play a few games of that. So it's been pretty funny discovering how many people love that game, because it's like another thing we're all uniting on. It's like metal and Magic.
Definitely.
So anything else behind the scenes happen that was really memorable?
The whole thing was memorable. I didn't realize I knew as many System of a Down songs. There's a System of a Down tribute band playing night one. And so when they were playing, I was like, oh, wait, I do know this song, because our drummer's a big System of a Down fan. And so being in the mosh pit with the guys from Traverse, Strange Culture, they're awesome. So many friends, the whole Icon Pit crew.
American mosh pits. They
Yeah.
filmed your mosh pit.
Oh, they did? I didn't even see it. Oh, they got to see when we moshed? That's awesome. I was wondering if anyone caught footage of that, because I was like, damn, I wish someone caught that. I need to go check it out.
Yeah, they do a really good job of getting in there. They get all the big mosh pits that break out.
Nice. Oh, I'm excited now. I got to go find that footage then. Because, yeah, I was like that whole time. I was like, man, I wish someone would have caught that on film.
Yeah, it was so hot there that the phones and the cameras, like, they kept overheating.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to hear some of Nail Bite and some of Strange Culture, but we got no visual.
Oh man, yeah, their sets they're so much fun to watch.
They were good.
Yeah, they're really good.
I was sitting there. I heard, and little friend of mine, I heard with Nail Bite, I heard Lana, where Lana does her little dance, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, she's doing her dance right now.
Yep. When we were in Pennsylvania and they were doing that song, we were like front row, and we were like handing them little things of chocolate, because we heard they like chocolate. So as they're like looking proud, we're just like, here's tribute. Here's some chocolate. But, yeah.
You guys were so fun. I got to see you at Phantom Power, and you guys were so fun.
Thank you.
That was just intense.
Thank you. Yeah, we a lot of pent up. We're a bunch of nerds, so we all have a bunch of that pent up, anger and frustration, aggression. So we get to let it out on stage. And I almost did you see when I ran upstairs to the second level and ran back down? So coming back down, I almost busted my ass because I forgot it was a slope. And then like going on stage, it's like rounded. So I hit the curb and almost like went down, and I caught myself and I was like, woo, that would have been embarrassing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was when my son saw that we could go upstairs, because that was our first time ever being there. So he watched you and he's like, we can go upstairs. He's like, we can watch like downward. I'm like, okay, we can go up there.
There's something memorable from that where I'll never forget running upstairs, and Ryan's mom was like looking for me because she was upstairs and my mom was as well. And so they're both looking over trying to find me. And I just wedged myself in between them. I was like, who are you looking for? And they're like, what are you doing up here? And then I just ran away. And I'll just never forget that look. It was so funny. They're just like, how did you get up here? I'm like, I walked. Technically, I ran and almost fell, but I made it safely.
I love
next time I'm going to jump off the balcony and back onto the stage.
I love the energy from some of those like DIY shows and like those smaller venues. I love the intimacy of it.
Oh yeah, that show too. We had like a whole magic tournament thing going on outside, because we never been there before, and we saw all this like game area outside. So we just picked up one of the tables and just went to town. It was pretty funny.
I'm sure
every time we went outside, there was like this humongous beetle, and like my son was like obsessing over the beetle every time we walked out the door, like had to find the beetle. But the beetle stayed throughout all like everybody's shows. It stayed right like around the grill. But yeah, that was fun. The cookout.
Yeah, the beetle's like trying to get itself a burger or something.
It was huge. I mean, like it was a huge beetle, like what you would think of like an Egyptian beetle, like back in the day, like the massive.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the Mummy, the little things that bust open out of the. That's what always comes to mind.
Scarabs. I think.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys come together?
So it was. So my old band, I fired the guys and got rid of them, and decided it was time to start new. And it was right when COVID hit, so everything shut down. And I was like, well, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep doing this thing, rebrand, and get a new band together. Had an album ready to go out, And then it was basically like a Tinder for musicians, where you just find like different musicians that have your same interests.
Hey, a lot of people go that route.
And it works. And it was hard because there was like, the material is pretty difficult. It's not the easiest stuff to play. And a lot of the people couldn't play it. I had one guitar player be like, can we just dumb this down? And I was like, no. And I met Ryan, and I mean, he's technically like a technical guitar player. He went to school for it. I mean, he's awesome. Can like shred his face off, you know what I mean? Like, can you just go to town on a guitar? And so not only when we met up and sent me the videos, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's awesome. And then found out he's also a big action figure collector. So that's really what sealed the deal, is that we had like basically the same display. I was like, oh, of course he has to be a great guy because he has excellent taste in action figures. So
wait, I need to know, what's your prize action figure?
Oof. That's oof. I got one that's very sentimental. Ryan and I both got the 1989 Batman Michael Keaton Batmobiles, and they came with a really shitty paint job. So we spent like a week DIY repainting it. So that's like probably one of the most sentimental pieces.
I have mine. I'll go get mine.
Oh yeah, if you got it, it looks just like it, but probably this is gonna be, yeah. So we both repainted our Batmobiles. So that would probably be one of my, number one, if not number one, number two. Like that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it took us like a week, didn't it, Ryan? Because we had to order the parts, sand stuff down. We like messed up the paint job, had to redo everything because the stuff dried weird and the sealant was weird, and yeah, it took us.
Whenever you do it yourself, you just, every little thing that you do wrong, you just see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's like the paint dripped the wrong way. I was like, I gotta restart, man. It's like I gotta spray it and do it again. It's like it's gonna bug me. So that was a lot of fun doing that. So, and probably I'm a big like fan of the 90s comics and the Justice League of America. So the Hook Hand Aquaman McFarlane just released, and then the 90s Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. I'd say those are probably my three favorite: the Batmobile, Kyle Rayner, and Hook Hand Aquaman. My favorites.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah, this weekend, Jeff Brennan, he is the creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog. He's done stuff for The Simpsons. He's done a ton of different X-Men and different, I think he has done some for Batman, different comics, but he's gonna be up at my friend's gallery. So I always love to talk to other fans that just love the nerdy stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, Courage the Cowardly Dog was like my go-to cartoon growing up. Like him and Muriel, just like their whole thing. Oh man, it was so great.
Yeah, and I feel like it's making a comeback. Like I found a Courage shirt the other day at Target, and I'm like, this is great. Like it's not the regular like 20 different shirts that are at every single store.
Yeah. That's awesome. I need to go to my local Target and see if they got a Courage shirt. I'll be rocking that at the next show.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I like some of the like weird ones, and just the comics and the toys and all of that. Like it just, I've been into it since I was young. I mean, I collect Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
nice.
And horror toys, but yeah, just fun.
Right now, I have
toys from the 90s
in storage. Right now, I have all my horror figures just because ran out of room. But it's like Texas Chainsaw, Mike Myers, like all the gory ones, and Alien and Predator, and I need to get those out and put them on display because those are the details on those figures are just so cool.
Yeah,
I try to keep mine like in my guest room because my son's 11. Like he has his friends over. I don't want to scare them too bad. But like with the Living Dead dolls, like I just moved them into the living room. I'm like, they can be on display. It's Halloween time. Like we're good.
Yeah,
I'm starting my horror display now.
You got the sarcophagus and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the sarcophagus is in the case, but my next edition will be Dracula to go in there.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, like, it looks just like him.
Can't beat it.
Oh, that's fun. I have the Misfit dolls like that.
Nice.
Oh yeah. I got to play with Doyle once, and I just not only playing was cool, but his dog, having his dog there. His dog was like the star after hours because like he first brought it in and tearing down merch and stuff, and I'll just never forget he had this like cute little tiny dog. And he's just like massive man. And it's just like, this is really cool. Never would have guessed.
That's awesome. I didn't even you wouldn't picture him having a little dog. Like,
yeah,
you just
yeah, it was so cute. It was so funny, and I'm just like, that's awesome. Because I always imagine like for us, like where we live, we're always like, let's get like a nice little tiny dog. But of course, I also want like a Great Dane and a Savannah cat and all these really big animals that don't fit in an apartment.
Yeah, whenever I see a Dalmatian, I'm like, oh my God, it's so cool. I really want one. And then I think about it, I'm like, yeah, but a Dalmatian's huge. Like, they are humongous.
Yeah. Oh man. I think my wife had 2 Dalmatians growing up. She was talking about them before, and I was like, just from the movie 101 Dalmatians, I always liked them from then. So maybe one day I'll have a Dalmatian. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody who is like a Cruella de Vil fan or 101 Dalmatians, I mean, the Dalmatians are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if you had to describe your band, I'll give you 3 words each.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe it?
Oh. Energetic, unpredictable, and fun. Just fun. I feel like a lot of bands forget you can be fun. And that's our whole thing. It's like, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We just, we're playing rock and roll, living our dreams, getting to do a lot of cool things that not a lot of people get to do. So it's like just up there having fun.
Go ahead, Ryan. It's your turn.
We got like the perfect 3-word descriptor for it. I'm trying to remember. It's something along the lines of like voodoo groove music.
Oh, that's what Voodoo Groove Juice. That's
Voodoo Groove Juice. Yeah.
Voodoo Groove Juice.
That's what it is. It's Voodoo Groove Juice.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the best description I think we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. That's what they were saying at Bruce Talk.
Yeah, that was Spoon.
Yeah, Spoon was like, he was introducing us on the stage, and he's like, there's no way to describe this band sound-wise, and the best way I can do it is it's Voodoo Groove Juice. And I was like, bro, trademark that. That's awesome. Yeah. Like,
it is really funny because if you talk to different people, some describe you as metalcore, some describe you as rock. Like, I mean, you get a lot of adjectives in there.
I used to say we're the and in hard rock and metal because like we'd be playing at rock shows and we were too metal for the rock bands, and then we'd be playing at metal shows and we were too rock for the metal bands. So we're just like the and we're like, we fit on a lot of bills, but it's never can like find the perfect home, which I guess is good because then we get to go hang out with everybody.
Oh, the fans are loving it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So what are some of the bands that inspired you growing up? Because I like to start there, because the bands that you listened to when you were growing up, they set the tone.
For me, it was Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, and AC/DC. Those are like my big 3.
Love it. I just heard somebody just went to one of his shows and said that they had been to a ton of shows of his. They actually said that this was one of his best performances. Now that he's sober.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to see him in September. He's not coming to Florida, but he's going to Atlanta. So I'm going to go see him there and just take a day trip and go up and down. But I'm so like, AC/DC and Marilyn Manson are my favorite bands of all time. So getting to see that, I see them anytime they're on tour and they come near, I go see them.
Go ahead, Ryan. Who inspired you?
I got Slash, like particularly like the Conspirator stuff.
Yeah.
That's been high on my list. Alter Bridge and Muse.
Oh, okay.
So a little more alternative that dips into metal, because I've been able to just learn a lot from them. And Alter Bridge is a weird one because I've been able to do like a lot of events where I've gotten to like meet Mark and compare notes with Mark Tremonti and actually take lessons with him. So I'm like, that's a very unique experience to have with a band, to just reference yourself and take lessons from them and apply them to your own playing.
So as far as metal, what would you say is your favorite subgenre of metal?
My favorite subgenre?
Yeah.
Ooh. I like hair metal, honestly. Big hair metal guy.
Yeah, can't go wrong with hair metal.
Yeah.
For me, I don't. That's hard because I love industrial metal, like anything. Again, Manson, Nine Inch Nails, even going into Sun Ministry, Zombie. But I do love me. I am a trash for hair metal, man. I love Def Leppard, Poison, Guns N' Roses, like Van Halen. That's like, I can't get enough of it, and I'm not sorry about it. I love
No.
That's great. So as far as practicing, like as a band, how do you practice weekly? Do you guys more before the shows? Are you guys in the same area?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of take the whole thing where it's like, hey, practice at home, and when we get together is rehearsing. So it's like figure the stuff out, come rehearsals, jam it, see what's working, what's not working, try it out the shows, and then again we kind of like, hey, here are the notes, let's try this. And a lot of it's like, hey, I noticed I did. It's like a lot of accountability. We're like, hey, I messed this up. I'm gonna try this, and it's like, yeah, let's see how that works, and come back together, hash it out in the garage, see what sounds good, and come back together. But it's usually,
I always wonder when I hear like when bands are very cohesive with their sound and all the members just vibe. Like I love to hear how much first of all, how much they hang out together. And second of all, how much they rehearse and like
Ryan and I hang out. It used to be like 2 to 3 times a week we'd be hanging out. Now it's like maybe 1 or 2, just because our schedules are busy. But then Aaron's like once a week. He's down. Yeah. As for cohesion, like we all get along great. I think the only time when there's like heated tension or turmoil is when we're playing Magic and we're all ganging up on each other. Or like one player's getting, treated a little unfairly. We're ganging up on somebody. That's the only time it ever gets heated. But that's it.
now you guys seem like you would be really fun while you're on the road.
Oh yeah.
And
we it's gonna sound so like while one of us driving, we actually during the Pennsylvania trip, we had like a cooler and we used that as a card table. So it's just playing cards, playing. We set up the Nintendo Switch and we were playing like wrestling when we were going to play Ink. What was that one game where you like throw each other off when you die? You remember what that one was, Ryan?
Gang Beasts.
Game Beasts. We were playing that a lot. So it's just like a lot of video games, a lot of shit talking. Like I'm big into trash talking during games, just because I'm not very good at games.
okay, if you could be on a video game, have one of your songs be on a video game, what would it be?
Any of the Batman Arkham games, Arkham City or Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum, Arkham Origin. Yeah, any of those ones. Just not the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, but the other 4 definitely would be in that. Or Red Dead.
Did you play Magic when it was on Xbox 360?
I just got into it last year. I
Wow.
just found out about it.
I did.
Yeah, there's a place around the corner from me where they post like games on the weekends. And they have like more tournament games, but they have like fun games for people to learn.
We did that once. There's like a game shop in like DeLand that our drummer's buddy owns. And that was like, they introduced me to Magic while we were on a tour. I was like, I like this. And his buddy's like, well, I'm doing a thing. Come to the shop. And we did pretty good. It was like a jumpstart tournament for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Except they didn't have any of the Lord of the Rings card. They sold out. So it just got regular jumpstart. And we just did timed games. Is like the best 2 out of 3. And the one with the most wins, you get a prize and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun.
It's crazy because one can be like $2 and another one's like $50. I can't exactly tell the difference with some of them, but my son, he's starting to get to know some of the different characters.
Cool.
So we'll go in there and I'm like, you can't like the $2 card? Like, of course not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like comics where it depends on like what the card can do or how many of them are printed. So like stuff like that will factor in price just like in comic books.
I know for the tournaments, we never we were at Spooky Empire and they were doing a Magic tournament, but it was like a $80 buy-in just to enter the tournament. And I was like, nah, it's all right. We'll just go in the corner and we'll play with other people. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't. You should have done a live video of Sid Stratton sitting there like in the Magic.
We were doing a jumpstart tournament, and it was just me, Aaron, and Ryan just going back and forth, and we filmed that, and then we took it to the lobby. And so at the convention, not a lot of people came to our set, but then it was like 3 a.m. in the lobby, and we had a crowd around us watching us play Magic. And we're just like, where were you people during the shit? And they're like, oh, we're not really into like metal music, but we love Magic the Gathering. We're like, okay, but what the hell? Could have came to the set, you know. It was really funny. Yeah, that's probably another core memory for conventions that was just so funny because we're like, huh, no one came out. That's weird. And then in the lobby, everyone's there just to watch us play cards.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So are there any specific things that you're looking to add to your shows coming up as far as elements, instruments? Because all of the bands that you're around, they have a lot of different elements that they like to bring into it.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of our other stuff, we did this, the rock and roll rituals with Bad Witch Burlesque, and that was a lot of fun. That troupe's run by my wife, Lashes Lane, and she does all that crazy stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It is really cool. They have a show coming up September 7th, I think it is, 6th or 7th in Orlando, and so really excited for that. They're going to be at Spooky Empire performing on Saturday, so whenever we get to cross over with them and do the dancers and go and all that, it's always a lot of fun. I haven't told Ryan this yet, I got one of those bows, and I got my sister-in-law's upright bass, like the classic style, and I was like wanting to try like what Eddie Van Halen did with the bow and his guitar, and I was like, I wonder if I could incorporate this somewhere. But
that would be badass.
I thought that would be pretty cool. We have a coffin that we were supposed to come out of, but it was like built a little shitty, so every time you try to come out, your hair would get snagged on like screws and stuff. So I think we're just gonna set it on fire for a music video. But that was something we wanted to incorporate. We had fire for one show. We were gonna do that more, but then I got set on fire, and that was weird. But I didn't know I was on fire, but that was weird. So we're trying to figure out other stuff. I think we're going to go back to doing some like light show where it's like automated, synced up with the backing tracks. So we're trying to figure out how to do that, get some cool like Pink Floyd lights, some fog. I would like to go back to fire if we can figure out a way where I don't get set on fire.
Yeah.
How were you doing that? What was the fire just coming like out of the ground, or were like batons, or?
So we were doing one of our rock and roll rituals, and one of the burlesque dancers, she was gonna blow the candle out and do the candle drip on me while I was playing, but went to do it but didn't blow the candle out, and so then like just stuck it in my face, And like I'm looking down at the bass because it was like a bass solo kind of part in one of our songs, Demon's Tongue. And I was just like, wow, this is really hot, a lot hotter than I thought it would be. And I could see Jimmy off to the side with like a towel, and his eyes are like real big. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I hear people on the side of the stage like yelling and screaming. I was like, oh man, they're really digging it. I bet this looks so cool. And yeah, they're basically just roasting my face with the
With your hair on?
I can't remember if it was on fire.
It was pretty close. You had some product in there that would have just...
Yeah. It did get set on fire during a music video shoot too. There's a music video that's right now it's unlisted, but it was on YouTube. It was called Sadistically Seductive, and there's a runway with lit candles. And I did like a headbang, and my hair went in the candle and just lit it up.
Did you at least you got it on film though?
Oh yeah, it's in the music video. And I remember because a lot of the bad witches were in the music video, and they were all in like the kitchen area where we had like snacks, and everyone was like, what's that smell? And like I didn't know my hair just caught on fire, but the camera guy was like and I was like, what's that look for? And yeah, there's always things happening, and I'm just like oblivious to it.
Will that be up again at some point?
I could put it back up. Yeah, it was like a DIY video during the pandemic, so like the production wasn't exactly, to the toppest of notches, but it was a lot of fun, and I think that's the best part of the video is me getting caught on fire. That was a lot of fun.
I feel like everybody during the pandemic, they all were making the DIY videos. I mean, it was
creative outlets.
The time.
Yeah. Yep. It was. I think we shot two or three music videos during the pandemic. Beyond the Pale, that one's still up. That was a lot of fun shooting that one. That's probably that was really, really cool. I got to it was based off of this story my grandpa told me when he was a kid. His aunt died, and I guess back then you'd leave the body out on the like the kitchen table, and the family would come visit. And he was saying like how he couldn't sleep because he thought the body was just going to get up and come get him. So I was like, I like that. And then, so the music video, it's like my dead body on the table with like the coins in my eyes, and all the witches, they're all like dressed like mourning, for my death and whatever. And then my soul possesses them, and they get all demented and everything and start tearing up the place.
That's so fun. What's that video called?
It's called Beyond the Pale.
Beyond the Pale.
Yeah, it was very like Pussifer inspired sound wise. So it's not really in line with like what we do metal wise, or it was like a kind of like when you're just like experimenting, it's very experimental. And so we use the intro live, but we don't play the rest of the song live. But the intro, we put it on King of the Bottomless Pit. So that plays right into King smoothly.
So you were telling me before, and I hope that I can bring this up, you were saying that you've been working on some music videos.
Yes.
Can you hear anything about what fans can anticipate?
Oh, yes. So we're doing a shameless plug for the new video. It's for our song Blood Grind. Here, I'll stand up kind of. You can see the shirt. We just got these new shirts made. So we're getting all the product in for it. And when I was saying Red Dead for the other video game, this song was inspired by Red Dead Redemption, where me and the producer were sitting in the studio, and we like to put movies on while we're recording. And he's like, what do you want to watch? And I was like, let's put like the Terminator on, because like the music we wanted to make. I was like, what if Red Dead Redemption met the Terminator? And so that's how we got Blood Grind. And so it was fun too, because while we were recording it, the movie's playing, but there was parts of the movies we couldn't tell if it was like the song or the movie, because it like lined up so well for certain sections. But Blood Grind is a lot of fun. That one was, I think there's 27 time signature changes in it. We got really good with it. It was also like very Queens of the Stone Age inspired, how they do like a lot of weird time signature and, note bends, and just wacky, out of the box kind of desert rock metal vibes. So
I cannot wait. So I know that you probably don't have an exact date, but around what time can we look forward to?
The goal is October 19th to have the video out, because we have a show in Miami we're doing. We haven't announced the show yet, but we're doing one in Miami, and that's going to be like the music video release show. And so we'll put it on the projector for people to see and everything.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, will you have that on your live, or will you be streaming that?
We'd like to. Well, we worked with Warp Media, and they used to, for their Metal Mayhem shows, they would like stream the shows. So of course we'll also put it on YouTube and everything, but I'm hoping we could get some streams going. That would be really cool for people to see the whole.
Well, if you'd like to, when you do go to premiere it, we would actually, I mean, we would love to be able to have you, like, even if you just called into the show and we released it.
Yeah, we'd be totally down to premiere it on there. Yeah, yeah, we'd love to do that. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Miami's always wild. Like, you'll have a good time. That'll be a great release.
Oh yeah. That's like kind of Orlando and Miami are our home bases. Our first show as a band together was in Miami at the same venue. It's called it's the Sandbox at the Sandbar on Collins Avenue. So we had our first show in March of 2022. So we're going into year 3 right now, or almost at 3 years of being a band. So that's where it all started. So we're going back. We try to go there at least once or twice a year, do our fun shows. And so,
what are some other venues that you like to play at?
West End, we just played this past weekend. That was a lot of fun. Conduit's fun. Nothing's gonna beat that. We got to play Ink, or Incarceration Festival last year.
Oh, that's great.
That's been like the standard, where we're just like, how do you go to a music festival after playing something like that? It's like, you get spoiled. Love Drafts was a lot of fun. Their whole staff plays Magic too. So like, we had our Magic cards, and the guy was like, "Are you guys playing Magic the Gathering?" We're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Dude." So it's so funny.
I feel like you can walk into Love Drafts and you can, like, whatever your weirdness is, like, there's other people that have that weirdness. Like, I just feel like it's always got that vibe, like, no matter what is going on. And I love Drafts is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that place. And again, I think not only was the stage cool, the sound guy, but just their whole, like, the faculty and staff there, just so nice. Because it's like, especially when it's like you're coming from out of town, you're not used to the venues, and sometimes you can have a bad experience where you get there and someone in the staff's having a bad day, and then they just don't want you there. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, hey, you booked us to play here. It's not our fault. We're here. You wanted us. It's like, but.
So have you got to play there since they extended the stage?
When did they extend the stage? Because the stage was pretty big when we played there. It was
they I want to say last year.
Oh yeah. Then we played the extended one, and it was just so like, getting there. We were like, oh, we're not sure where to load in. They're just like so nice, and they're like, yeah, just come through here, set your stuff over here. There's a green room, back there. Like, there's food, drinks. There's like, if you need a shower, there's a shower back there. And we're just like, everybody is so nice. They're like, you got merch over there. Go ahead, set up. We'll help you with anything you need. We're like, yes, Seth. Thank you, Seth. It's like, this is so nice.
Shout out to Nick Myers.
Oh yeah, that whole Love Draft's just 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel that each member's like personal, like what they listen to personally? How do you feel that kind of adds to the band as a whole?
Oh yeah, so I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan, Marilyn Manson fan. So it's like a lot of their stuff where it's just like Trent, producer, they put something out, and then when they bring it to live, it evolves. And so I've always been a big fan of that. And I think it's really cool because Ryan's taste in music and Aaron's taste in music are like separate sides, and I feel like I'm in the middle, and I really relate to both sides of like what everyone loves. But like Aaron brings just this really intense tribal. He's into a lot of like the metalcore, really just in your face. Some drummers, I like to joke, they play the cymbals. Aaron's one of those that plays the drums, and I feel like especially in a 3-piece, you need that power. And then with Ryan, like really with that technical background, really great with improv as well. So I tell both the guys like, hey, there's the chorus of the song, but make them your own. Like let your personalities come out, because if you're just playing what was on there, you're not as into it. And it's like, you guys are in the band because you guys are talented musicians that have your own styles. So let that come out, like showcase that. Like this is a stage and a product for you to show what you can do. Like don't hide it. And so that's what
as for music writing, the process, how do you guys go about that as a band? Or at least on your most recent song? Like let's focus on Moxie.
So Moxie, so all of them has been me and John that we get together, do it in the studio, and then I bring it back to the guys. And then it's just like, here, what are we gonna do? Moxie was like, John called me, he's like, hey, I got this idea and I think your vocals would be cool on it. Do you want to do it? I was like, sure. So for like a song like Moxie, John wrote like the music and all that, and then I just did the melodies and the vocal parts and the lyrics. So something like that is very it's another one of those experimentals like Beyond the Pale, where it's one of those. I called John, I was like, hey, I have an idea for this, and he's like, cool, let's come try it. So a lot of it's just less based on a riff and more based on an idea, like some like weird conceptual idea. What if this was a song?
Can we talk about Ashes to Diamonds?
Oh yeah.
It's a love song. So Can we hear about that? Because that's one of my favorites.
Oh, I'm glad that is one of your favorites. We've actually only played that song live twice. The first time at the album release, and then the second time 2 nights ago. We've been workshopping it because, again, where I was just saying like, hey, guys, bring your vibe to this song. Let's hear it. So we kind of workshopped some stuff, changed it up a little bit, and that was a wedding present to my wife. That was.
What did the crowd think of you playing it the other night?
Oh, they loved it. They loved it. It was really cool. We were even saying after the set, we're like, these are some good, additions to the song, because I told Aaron, I was like, during these verses, instead of like matching what the drums are on the record, I was like, give us like a good dance beat, during the verses for everyone to get down to. And I told Ryan, I was like, yo, man, just do some like harmonies on that guitar, a little improv, kind of match what I'm doing, but go the octave higher. And, it's almost like we get a little jazz bandy with it.
Yeah, we definitely get funky with it.
Yeah.
What a perfect wedding gift.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. And then I'm proud of the guys for making it come to life, because it was like, we played it the first time, people loved it, but I was like, I feel like with everyone's talents, I was like, we can really elevate it live. I was like, let's take it to the next step, and gave them the challenge, and they all were like, hell yeah, let's do it. And yeah, it came out awesome.
Now, what would you say is your favorite song right now to play?
We've been having Ashes was a lot of fun the other night, but Corpses, Let Sleeping Corpses Jive, that one's been that's kind of been like the sleeper for us, where at least in my opinion, where it's like playing it, I wasn't expecting people to get like, you hope someone loves the song when you put it out, but I wasn't expecting that one to be liked as much. And
we were just saying the other day, it's a great workout song.
Hell yeah.
Also, it gets builds, and it's a great workout song.
Yeah. It's also an ass throwing song.
Yes, Ryan throws ass
to it. Yeah,
Ryan throws a lot of ass during that song live, and it's great. It's great.
So, what would you say, Ryan? What would you say yours is?
It's Corpses, mostly because I get to throw ass to it. Like I'm on autopilot. Like it's groove centric. So once I get the groove, I can kind of do whatever. So my ass just starts moving.
Yeah. It just like turns around and it starts just, it's like mind of its own.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best mosh pit song? Would you say it's Ashes? Or would you say it's Corpses?
Mosh pit.
I'd say either King or Leviathan.
Yeah.
Leviathan, there's like a section where it goes from like 3/4 to 5/4, and then Ryan goes into a guitar solo, and then that's usually when I jump into the pit, and then that usually gets people like going, just that simple time signature change. And then at the end of King, when we go to that breakdown, usually gets a little wild too. So one of those two.
In general, because I mean that's when we do our rituals, we can't have dancers on stage for that one because we're just too nuts with it.
Yeah, that's the one where they're like, yeah, we're getting off stage now because guitars, hairs, and boots and legs are flying. And we're like, sorry.
So speaking of rituals, do you guys have any routines or rituals that you do before the shows?
Get in a game of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ryan, I'm gonna let you take this one because I gotta think, but I think that's it. We just play a game of Magic and stretch. That's it.
So what can fans expect from your live show, from the live shows that are coming up?
Oh, more fun. Like, I mean, it's already fun, but I feel like we have like just so much work when we put into it to where it's like everything's second nature. So instead of like having to focus on not screwing up, now we can just like cut loose, and even when something goes wrong, we're able to like improv through it. Like one of Aaron's toms flew off the stage the other night, and we're just like, oh well, keep going through it. We're comfortable. We know what we're doing. We can make a joke about it, not take it too serious. Like, still put on a great show, but getting everyone involved. I know a lot of bands, it's like there's an invisible wall from the stage to the crowd, and it's almost like they don't want to break that fourth wall. And I'm like, nah, man, we're there to entertain. So we get in the crowd, we mosh with people, we sit on people's laps. We used to bring people on stage to dance with us, depending on the size of the stage, because sometimes it's too small and there's too many tables. But just turning everything past.
Another thing that really impressed me with you guys, like at Phantom Power, the girl, it was her first night. She was having some problems with the sound. You guys, like, you made it seem like she actually knew what she was doing. Like, you couldn't even tell. Like, everybody was just having so much fun that the little minor things like weren't even.
Oh yeah, there's like, I think one thing we're getting better with understanding is there's like only so many things you can control, and like everyone's doing their best, everyone's figuring it out. So we're just like, hey, we know what we're doing. We used to do like 8-hour rehearsals, 8 to 10 hours, 2 days in a row, and we just really get stuff, every minute detail down. So we could just go like, all right, if something goes wrong, like, fuck it, we're good. We know what we're doing. We can have fun, and we just try not to take ourselves too seriously or let stuff get under our skin. But
So what can we go through the shows that you have coming up so that our fans, if they're in the area, they can make sure that they get there?
Oh yeah, so we got 2 coming up in October. These next month and a half, we're going to be shooting and editing 2 videos. So there's nothing too big, nothing show-wise over these next month and a half. But October is going to get busy with, a show in, Miami, another show in Lakeland, the Blood Grind music video release, and then we're heading over to California. We're playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go on the 24th of January. Then we're going to be at NAMM on the 25th, and then we're going to be playing in Anaheim on the 26th. So we'll be playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting with Whiskey. Yeah.
Now, is that your first time playing at Whiskey A Go-Go?
Oh yeah, and we are like real giddy about it. We're just like, how did we do this? And it's honestly a lot of support, a good word.
Something right if you get a call from them.
Yeah, I have to give credit to the Nailbite crew because they put in a good word, I believe, for us, and they've been very supportive. I feel like we're very fortunate to have them in our corner, and we love them so much. They've been nothing but great to us, so we just appreciate everything they've helped us with, because it's I mean, like any business, music business, it's hard to find friends you can trust. And we always say all the time, it's like Nailbite crew and Traverse crew are like our best friends, and we, you take a bullet for
the first two.
Yeah, they're Traverse guys, man. Funny story to segue from at Bruce Stock when the stuff. Remember how they're the power blew for one side of the stage. So I was standing there, and I knew the soundboard was behind me, and I see Nick, their bassist, running off the stage. I was like, oh, he's probably running to the sound guy, and he's running at me, but like direct eye contact, full force. And I was like, oh, it looks like he's gonna hit me. Oh, wait. And then he comes and he just like checks me and like tosses me. I was like, oh my God, he was coming to hit me. And I was like, again, just thinking he was going past me. Nope. And he's like, fuck it. If the power's not going to work, I'm going to get out there and mosh. And I was like, that's so badass. Like, they are so cool.
It's like when the bullet bill comes at you in Mario.
Yeah. That's literally what, yeah, that's exactly it.
I loved seeing the videos from the mosh pits at Brewfest because it's so funny. They were like going pretty like wild, but everybody's like smiling and happy. Like it's like happy.
Yeah, man. There's nothing like there's being Nailbite circle pit that they had going, Traverse's circle pit that they had going. Like those two bands really know how to get a crowd moving and just keeping everyone happy too. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of bands are like, all right, this next song, we're gonna break your spleen. And they're like, and they're just like, let's have some fun, kick some ass, and help each other out. So I definitely think there's that where they're both bands super badass, super intimidating, but still at the same time really care about their fans and their fans' safety. So it's really cool to see how they have fun. I think that's another reason why we get along with them is we have fun, they have fun. Strange Culture, they're another band that have a lot of fun. Love seeing them as well. So it's just, I mean, those crews, they're just, one in a million.
Strange Culture, they live not too far from me, so
great.
Yeah, I've been in their corner since day one.
Oh, that's all. It was funny. So their drummer and the rhythm guitarist, their guitarist, we met one of the dads, but we thought he was the dad of the drummer, but I guess he's the dad of the guitar player. So me and Aaron were like, no, he's the drummer's dad. And we're like, no, he's the guitarist's dad. And like, we were just going back and forth. And I was like, oh, I guess he was the guitarist's dad. So it was just really, really funny because we don't know. We're like, whose dad is this? Really cool guy though.
Yeah, I was sitting at home just like, man, everybody's like on the stage, hitting the stage, and everybody was kind of sending me pictures. And Vin's like, do you want to just like go through and like you can at least get some footage? And I'm like, yes, please.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it was so much fun. That was like, it's so cool because it was like a lot of the bands from the DWP like brackets. It's cool to see a lot of them in person, and it's like almost like a reunion because it's a ton of like top tier bands. Like everyone's so good, and I'm just like, it's awesome to kind of just be in that same company with all these really highly regarded bands. So it was pretty special, that Bruce Stock.
The most part, like for the ones that work hard and really are pushing forward, it's such a community. And I've watched so many of the DWP bands. They really come together and support each other and push each other to just do better. I love when they collab and perform together. It's fun.
Yeah. And that's what it was cool that that first night we were in Pennsylvania. That's when Nailbite dropped the song with Eric on it, and we're just like, we thought it was so cool. We're just like, this is awesome. It's great to see that.
Do you think that in the future there will be a collab with you and any of your DWP friends?
That'd be really cool. We have
Maybe Nailbite.
Maybe, but yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, any of them. We got it's. I mean, we're no strangers to collabs. We've done a few collabs. We got on Twilight Zone, Michael Nero from Empire Springs. He does a guitar solo. Eric from Contortionist. He's on not Blood Grind. He's on Sleeping Corpses. Who else do we got? We got Dan Sugarman from Ice Nine Kills. He's on Sleeping Corpses.
Wow, nice.
Got there's two, Eric or Gunther. He's on Blood Grind. So we love working with other bands. Like there's no oh, stay away. It's very much collaborative with working.
Who would be on the bucket list for the five artists that you would love to collab with? Let's say this year.
This year?
Or next year. We can give you a little bit of leeway.
I have a dream list. I've always wanted to work with Tyler Bates, but I don't know. I want to put it out in the universe that we'll be able to work with him. Big fan of his. But I mean, yeah, if we get something with Nailbite or Traverse or Strange Culture, any of them, like all top tier musicians, all really talented, and most of all, they're a lot of fun. So
it'd be so fun. I would love to see that. Let's keep putting that into the universe as much as possible.
Yeah. Also, Trent Reznor. I will say, I do love me some Trent Reznor. Man, if he would just come out and be like, "Hey, let me do some synths on one of your tracks," and be like, "Yes, please." Program some awesome industrial drums. Let's go.
You know what? I could totally see that vibing.
Oh yeah, there was that was like the early songs like Alone on our Oleander. A lot of those more industrial heavies with very like Trent Reznor inspired. Like, what would he do in this scenario? And just try your best to live up to that kind of talent,
So what are some of your other goals that you would like to accomplish this year?
This year, I would really like to get all three I guess three of them filmed, because Sleeping Corpses, we're planning on shooting the music video while we're playing at the Whiskey. So we can't film that one this year, but we have plans to do Blood Grind, which we shoot the full thing next week. Children of the Bad Revolution, we got that one kind of started. And then Ashes to Diamonds, we have the storyboards kind of starting in early for that. That's the one we want to set a coffin on fire for. So we got a lot of, really like to film all that over these next, we got a month and a half to film for Blood Grind and get all the stuff ready. And then
now I have to ask, will your wife be in the video?
Maybe. We, again, very early storyboards. There's this idea where it's basically like the band it's like a hangover, like the movie. So we get together to go out to have just have a good time. And we run into like cults and witches and stuff like that. And they're all trying to kill us, like Scooby-Doo vibe. So I thought that'd be a funny thing. So
that would be so awesome.
So started
that would be so fun.
Yeah, that's our end of the year project we're trying to make happen. But that one's going to be a lot of work. So we're kind of budgeting November, December. Let's try to get that knocked out. That way, going into next year, we just release a bunch of videos, bunch of shows, get the rest of the work in this year, so we can just, put it out next year.
Now with the dancers and the burlesque and that whole theme, is that only for your shows down in Florida? Like, do I have to travel to Florida to see that, or will that be eventually possibly on the road with you, maybe in Pennsylvania?
It's really cool to bring it up there. There's definitely been conversations trying to figure out the best way to make that happen for sure, because it's just like bringing that many people and lodging and all that. That's pretty expensive getting it there, but that's always been one of our goals, to take it on the road, because we just think we have something special with that show. But
yeah, I think that would be so fun, and seeing your energy without the dancers, I could only imagine. Like,
oh yeah, it's that Orlando Ritual, I think, is probably one of my favorite shows we've ever done. We did it at this venue called the Wren. It was decorated for a vampire show. They do like musical theater, And so we rented it out to put our album release, and it was so cool. Like for Ashes, my wife, she came down from these like really big Gothic steps and came onto the stage to perform, and it was really cool. It was just
So you guys are doing it right. You guys are enjoying every moment and really like.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. And I think the other cool thing too, it's like there's definitely lots of ups and downs, and there's like stressful times, and it's just like trying to everyone manage like emotions and stress, and it's like, you know, we feel the feelings and we talk it out, and we're like, hey, this is, you know, we're having a tough day, or, you know, anxiety attacks, because it's like, how do we make this happen, you know? And it's, you know, we're there to support each other, and like, hey, deep breaths, we got this, we'll figure it out, you know. Whatever happens kind of happens. Going back to that, like, just control what you can, and what will be, or what will be kind of thing.
Well, hopefully moving forward, it's only good anxiety.
Oh, yes. I want the good anxiety, the jitters, like, oh, wow, this is hope I don't mess up in front of 100,000 people. I want that anxiety.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask also, with I know with you guys playing Magic, do you guys play that online?
There's like the app that I play online. I think I just deleted the app though, because I needed space for Dropbox, so I had to delete the app. But
because when I said that you guys played Magic, like when I was telling like my friends, they're like, do they play online? Like, can we play with them?
Oh yeah, we've been looking for like a group of people to kind of, like, I guess I should back up. There was like a game store where we tried to have like a Sid Stratton Magic night, but they didn't bite, because like our music's a little too, like our videos and images a little too explicit, and it's like more family friendly. We're like, oh yeah, we get that, like we understand, but we try to actually host like a Commander Magic the Gathering game night kind of thing at different card shops. But it's just because, like, being a metal band, it's a little scary for a lot of the shops.
I think it would even be fun if you guys did a live.
Yeah, we would love to do that.
Well, like the people came in, because it's such a fun thing, and it makes you guys totally different than everybody else that is on the internet.
Yeah, like we would love to do that. I've been watching, there's like some channels, I think like game nights and stuff, and I watch them play Commander and Magic online, where they have like they're live streaming it, and you're like playing with other people. So I got to do my homework and figure out how they're doing that. Because like
I know even when I do my lives, like when I'm taping the bands and everything, like you can bring people into it. So you could actually do kind of like what we're doing and have the different windows with the different people play. I mean, is there a way you can cheat? Is it easy to cheat in Magic?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about if you could cheat. I guess you technically could if you were really trying to.
A card?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, because like I've seen the way they shoot it. Usually, you got like kind of angled so you can see everything they're doing, you know, and you can see every play. So I don't see why we wouldn't be able to make it happen. That might be the bucket list for December. Get like a whole Magic tournament, the Sid Stratton Magic tournament kind of thing. Send somebody a trophy.
If you do, you have to let us know, because we will post it everywhere. And I'm telling you, like, you'll have a bunch of people.
Hell yeah. We'll be like, Ryan and I just finished building these like really mean decks. Like, you've just built this vampire that's like one shot death touching, and then I built one that's like, I mill out your whole deck so you have no cards to play with. They're really like nasty decks we built.
Yeah. And then there's that one I have one that just makes a bunch of little fairies, and then there's like 10 or something little fairies attacking someone.
Yeah, Ryan,
main fairies, man.
And then Aaron has a rat deck where it's just a bunch of rats that you can't block that have deck touch. Yeah, Ryan we all hate that. I built a deck specifically just to handle that one, because I hate when you use that one. Yeah, it's not fun playing. Yeah, I mean, it's fun playing against, because you're just like, how do I beat this? It's so unstoppable. But
so just to anybody that in the future is going to play with Sid Stratton, They are very, very competitive. So just be ready to battle rats.
Yep. Rats, vampires, leviathans, and like shit talking, because we really like to politic our way through games. Like, this is why you shouldn't kill me, and here's a list of 10 reasons. And then like as soon as you agree, we're like, haha, just kidding, stab you in the back. Like it's very cutthroat when we play. But we're also like newcomers. Like one of our friends, Michael, just started playing, and he won his first game against us this past weekend. So we're really happy for him, because we're like, hell yeah, dude, you did it. Because he's been playing for us for about a month. Would you say, Ryan? 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he beat us, but we sat there with them and the early stages, like taught him how to do the thing. So we're also very like, hey, if you're a newcomer, like, we're not gonna totally shit on you. We're gonna help you along so you can come and beat up everybody else too at the card table.
That's awesome. So since we're running low on time, as far as social media, what is the one that you guys communicate the most, like the most?
Instagram.
Because I know you guys are on everything, but what's the one that you kind of?
Oh, Instagram. We're on that like hourly. Like, that's the one that get all the notifications, do most our talking through. Yeah, that's the best one. Like Facebook's great as well. But yeah, mostly Instagram is where we do a lot of the announcements and everything. Our website too. Our website has some good stuff, but
I was loving it. Like I'm on TikTok a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of the bands right now, they just don't have a lot of songs on TikTok. You guys had a huge discography on TikTok. I was so excited. I'm like, yay.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's been one thing that was like hard getting used to, was like TikTok and what do they call it now? X and Threads. Like making sure to give those ones attention as well, because everyone uses Instagram, and luckily now Instagram's like you make one post and it posts to the other 3 for you. But a lot of bands, it's like,
Like, I neglect X. I just can't. That's the only one. I just never really. At Snapchat, I'll be Snap happy, and then I won't touch it for months, and then I'll be Snap happy, no touch.
I honestly forgot about Snapchat. I haven't used it in a long. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. That's just like blowing my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing. See, it's like there's ones I forget about.
I try to go on and at least post like the guests that are coming on. I try to post them on all my stories.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's the quickest way to get it out, since we are a weekly show.
That's smart.
So I try to keep up with the stories, but
yeah,
I've had the hardest time with Instagram. Like Instagram and I have like a love-hate relationship, because I'll gain a bunch of people and then like I'll post like a different vibe, and then I'll lose some, and like I don't know, it's very fickle to me.
Yeah, we've only been kind of this like past 2 months. I feel like we finally gotten like a steady increase. Like before, it was like, all right, you gained 2 and lost 5, and it's like, what's going on? And it's like, how do you crack it? And I don't think, we by no means have cracked it, but we're finally now starting to do
when you start playing your Magic games. Sid Stratton Magic.
Yeah, that's what's gonna do it. We really we've been saying we want to get like so well known in the Magic community that they make cards based off us, or we start making songs based off of cards. But I know you can get like proxy cards made, so I want to get some made of the band first. Like different.
That would be so fun.
Yeah. We thought Ryan got me was it my birthday or Christmas? The mat.
It was Christmas, yeah.
You got a custom Sid Stratton game mat for Magic, and then you got Aaron like custom sleeves with Aaron's face on it. It's really funny. So we thought about
put them in your store too, so that other people
show you all that photo, because it's iconic.
Oh yeah, pull up the photo. It's so silly, but like we were like, oh man, let's do the tournament, and then we give those away as prizes. Yeah, so that's the picture on the sleeves of Aaron.
It's just 100 of that.
Yeah, it's my favorite picture of Aaron.
Yeah,
that's so great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. And as far as your music is everywhere? Apple Music, Spotify?
All of it.
All right.
Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Some vinyl stores are carrying it. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Okay. So, but we want everybody to go on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get those monthly listeners up. So make sure that you go on, check out all the songs that we talked about tonight. And definitely follow the band and keep informed because they've got a lot of stuff coming out. I cannot even wait for your new music videos. Like, I'm so psyched.
We cannot wait either. We've been planning it for so long. So we've had this like circled on the calendar, like, yes, let's get it done. So we finally have some time to do it. So we're excited.
That's great. And like I said, as soon as that stuff's out, we would love to have you back on and have you talk about it. And I'm so happy for you guys. And I wish you guys all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much. And thank you again for having us on. This has been a blast.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure we will have you on again.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Another great episode of a Pretty Little Podcast. And next week, we'll have Jesse back. And good night, guys.